Hey everybody, good afternoon. Another day of ministry completed at Bibb Correctional Facility, or Bibb County Correctional Facility here in Alabama. Today was a pretty powerful day. Yesterday I was with a group of men who predominantly were people who, if they weren't people of faith, faith has been a part of their life at some point or another, but today was really a day where a majority of this congregation, we'll call it, um, really weren't people of faith at all. In fact, it was obvious by the air. Kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but just from the very beginning, when the inmate pastor said, "Would everybody please rise for worship," and only half of the 150 guys stood up. So that told me a lot right there, as they sat there with their arms folded and like, we're going to hear what he's got to say. Um, I had guys tell me today that they've been in max custody prisons in Alabama. They said nothing is worse than where they are here at Bibb. And that's why I really wanted to go there. And when I got up to speak, I addressed their disrespect of the pastor. I said, "How many people in here want to be respected?" And they said, like every hand went up. And I said, "All right, guys, I want to make an observation. When the pastor of the church says, 'Please stand,' and you don't stand, you're disrespecting him. You want to be disrespected. I mean, you want to be men who are respected. You're going to have to give respect to other men. That's just the way it is. I went to prison. You went to prison because we are men who disrespected other people. We disrespected laws. And if you want your life to change, you're going to have to start doing things differently." And so with that, I got into my testimony. I shared my testimony. I mean, they stood. They gave me a standing ovation, whatever you call it. And we had an amazing time. And as I was speaking, my spirit just sensed that there was a tremendous amount of pain in that room as I made eye contact with the men, and I saw their demeanors just totally change. And I knew we stirred something up. So when you have an event, the goal of that event is for something to come from it. And so Pastor Randy from Church of the Highlands, he has small groups planned for anybody who would want to be in one. And when you have the church guys coming in, you expect them to sign up for the small groups, but there wasn't a lot of expectation for say the guys who don't have that experience of faith to sign up. But today, of the 150 so men, 100 of those men signed up for the small groups to follow. So that was very, very encouraging. And I had men come up to me, and one guy came up, he says, "Man, you flipped a switch in me that's never been turned on before." And I had all kinds of men come up, and I went deeper into my testimony, and I challenged them in much deeper ways where typically I don't have the time to do that, but I had the time here. And so, as I felt led by the Lord, I just focused in on different elements related to disrespect, for example, or their legacy, or the heart of a man, and perishable things versus imperishable things. And it was a great time. It really, really was. And then at the end, the inmates got up there and they asked me to come up, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And all of a sudden, all of the inmates stood and just started clapping. And I got to show you this. They presented me with this. I don't know what I would call it. I guess a plaque. But anyway, they signed it. Well, some of the men signed it. Certainly, all of them are on here. But this plaque, or this picture, or gift that they gave me, is out of their appreciation for me coming. They said to me, we appreciate the pastors who come in here. We appreciate the chaplain, but it's different when a guy who has sat in our seat comes back inside to share his experiences with us, we can really benefit from this. And this is why it just outrages me. Is that the right word? I'm tired. But it's infuriating kind of when you ask to go inside a prison when allegedly the goal of the nation now is prison reform, and you're denied access to prisons. Alabama happens to be some of the worst prisons in the country at this point, and that's why I really wanted to go inside there. But you know, I think I'm losing my train of thought, but it was just a unique experience today, and it demonstrates that if you will provide something for somebody to change their life, they'll respond to that provision. That's at least what I see, and it's what I tell Heidi all the time. If these guys are locked up 24/7, they don't have a job, they don't do anything. They just sit there all day. And so anyway, I just want to thank you for supporting Heidi and I to do what it is we're doing, and to be able to make an impact on the men and women we're seeing. Tomorrow I'm going into a prison. I think it's called Kilby. Heidi's going into a prison with a woman, and so we'll have more to share with you tomorrow. But today,
You showed my video.
today was a great day, and one of the things we did. Thank you, Heidi. Heidi couldn't be there because, you know, like I said, I'm in a room with a couple hundred inmates and there's no officers. So what I decided last night was maybe Heidi could, you know, make a video for these guys, and man, they ate it up. I mean, she talked about their legacy. She talked about them praying for their future wives, or praying for, you know, the wives of their, I mean, the women who bore their children, because they have to raise these children. And I mean, she spoke a good word, and it was very evident to them that it came right from her heart, and they couldn't have been more appreciative. And so that was another powerful moment today. There were so many of those moments, and I'm excited by what I think is going to come from today's conference. And just to say that Bibb County Correctional Facility has been around for 22 years, and this is the very first time they've ever had a men's conference, per se, for the men. And I think that's tragic on the one hand, but on the other hand, I was able to be the first keynote speaker at their very first conference because of your support. And I can't tell you how grateful I am for you. And I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to have pictures of this. I might even have some video to share with you later on. So we're going to see exactly what I'm going to get, but video was taken, pictures were taken, so I'm looking forward to sharing some of those moments with you in the form of pictures. So thank you again for all your support. We love you, we cherish your prayers, and thank you for helping us do God's work. Take care.